Hey, what's up? How it's going? Mark King here, and this is an article, yes, from this terrible PBS quote-unquote organization. I remember when they were just about Sesame Street and Arthur and family empowerment. Now they're about anti-whiteness, attacking the nuclear family and victimhood. So let's go into the story slightly blind. I didn't really preview it yet, but let's see what victimization they're going to play up today. That's going to be white people's fault or man's fault or male's fault. Let's see. Let's see if they hold true. How stereotypes can color teachers' digital expectations for their students. This is by Matt Raffalo. Alright, so right now we can see straight off the bat stereotypes and the word color. We see where this is going. Okay, we already know what to think, who they're aiming at. Let's see where this leads to. Schools that rely on remote learning during the pandemic are trying to ensure that all kids have devices and internet bandwidth they need. While important, it takes more than everyone having comparable equipment. Okay, so now he says he does some research before the pandemic, quote unquote. So, and he said he observed teachers responding differently to students digital skills depending on their race and ethnicity. See, what you're taught to do is figure what kids need. Okay, and some kids need more than others. Like I've been in like heavy urban neighborhoods. If you get my drift, those kids are just lost. They're gone. All right, they really need a man. And when they do get a man, they don't even know how to. The kids I'm talking about, they didn't even know how to act towards a man. Okay, I've had teachers tell me, pull me aside, and tell me it's not your fault. It's they need the voice. I'm just gonna say the exact words. They need the voice of a black woman. There, I said it. And those things don't offend me because I think it's kind of true. They still don't learn. They still don't learn. They still fail, but the behavior does slightly improve. Not their learning. Let's continue. Previous research by a team of University of California researchers found that young people gain basic digital skills by playing with friends online. Okay, this includes communication and creating and sharing media. Okay, consider Minecraft. Okay, it was a popular video game. Minecraft create blocks, digital logos, play and learn creative skills, for example. Alright, I studied three Southern California middle schools over the course of 2013-2014 academic year and observed what happened when students had acquired digital skills. I've been in classrooms, right? Typically, it's the urban youths. If you get my drift, once again, they sit there and like, yo, I don't feel like doing the work, yo. And each and every time, I'm absolutely stunned because I give myself a false sense of security. I believe this time, this day, it'll go different. It never does. It plays out the exact same. So many students had also mastered basics of digital tools, like knowing how to communicate online. Okay. For all three schools, it seemed that students were ready to use what they already learned, succeed in class. The main differences were demographic. So we see where this is going. We knew it was going here because it's PBS after all. One of the schools had mostly wealthy white students, none of them who got free or reduced price meals. Another, most students were middle class and Asian American with about 10%. The students at the third were class were Latino, eligible. Okay, there were a few black students at the school, and I believe that more research is needed. He's probably lying about something here. This sounds like a throwaway line right here. This is my belief. It's a throwaway line. Okay, I've had school with majority Latino and majority black. Guess who succeeded? Guess who didn't? Guess who was respectful? Guess who wasn't? Guess who said, yo, I don't feel like doing the work, yo? Guess who said, yes, sir, right away, sir? Guess who's well behaved? Guess who was the exact opposite? Observe that teachers responded to these different kind of student communities in different ways. They appear, okay, I'll summarize this, right? What I've learned teaching, different communities have different needs, okay? As a teacher, you have to adapt, and it's not, I don't think it's fair. I, I, I know how that sounds. What's, what is unfair is the kids at home, they don't have a dad, okay? Females are the good cup, males are the bad cup. Unfortunately, in certain communities, the females are always the bad cop because there's no men around. Okay? Let's just see what he says with wealthy kids. Mostly wealthy white students. Teachers consider digital play as an essential part of learning. Okay. I always use the example of Steve Jobs going to his garage and tinkering around explaining the school's technology manager. Teachers at the affluent school tend to see pupils as future innovators. You know, when I would be in these urban schools, like the black, there wouldn't be teachers like the black like office workers or lunch people. They would feel sorry for me. They would absolutely feel sorry for me because they see what was going on, how I was trying my best, and the certain demographic didn't care. They would insult, they would fight. Okay. Very different responses, but teachers at the schools where the students were less affluent and predominantly came from communities of color saw the same digital activities in different lights. At the school, there was mostly middle class Asian American students. Teachers treated them most tech savvy. Okay, so does this person ever take into account that maybe they might be a little bit brighter? Okay, does that ever come into a that? See, this is the thing. I believe we all think these things, but because political correctness, we don't say it, and it's wrong to even think it. And you better be sure that you ever think out loud. It never comes out. Imagine being a fair again. You're in fear of your job, and of your livelihood, because there might be one social justice warrior out there, one feminist. Okay, if you have a school with 50 teachers, for example, 40 of them are really good, really great. The 10% of them you have to look out for. Okay, I keep looking at the 80-20 rule. You can apply it to so many things in life: dating pools, marriage, work, home. You know, it will apply to a lot of things. At the most, working class Latino school teachers had stereotypes about their students, hardworking immigrants who were destined for working class jobs. Again, this person is essentially taking away responsibility from the students and parents themselves. These things hold true 90% of the time, I would say. Okay, you know what somebody is early on. I'm actually in the belief that we shouldn't, how do I say this? We should aim high, but you have to keep kids realistic. Like, kids shouldn't go to college. Like, a lot of them shouldn't. You know, when I first heard it, the one thing I disliked about Obama, well, tons of things, but I kind of like agree with it now. Like, don't go to college if you're not a doctor or lawyer, right? I like to add engineer to that. But go to a trade school, literally learn a skill from somebody. Like, I've been thinking about trade school also. I'm just fed up with the teaching thing. I'm fed up. But with trade schools, when you get that certification, they want to see experience, so you probably have to do an apprenticeship. Okay, so it's not easy still. It's easy. It's better than going to college for 4 years. Go to trade school, get a certification. Go to trade school for like 1 or 2 years. Get an apprenticeship. Okay, I'm kind of in a bad situation. The fact that I spend money for my education, and it's not so much that I don't like teaching, is that I've been in bad areas, bad neighborhoods, and Like I've said, the stories, they're insulting. They fight. I got punched a few times. Things thrown at me, desks flung over. Now it will be almost daily where I had to kick a student out. And it was the usual students too. And the school never blamed the student, it blamed the teacher. Okay, these are these crazy lunatics work. Okay. So and in these neighborhoods, what I've seen is like the students. A lot of these urban students, they tend not to have they have the priorities wrong. So instead of having Wi-Fi on the computer, they'll have sneakers. It's like they never heard of Payless. Maybe because they can't spell Payless. We don't do spelling tests anymore because the kids all fail it, and it's the usual suspects. Okay, they just cannot achieve. Part of the reason is that we think students are all the same. So a certain demographic, right? The problem is they enter school way too early and they mature way too quickly. So they are about a year to 2 years behind like white kids mentally, but physically they're 1 or 2 years ahead. Okay, does it make sense? So it's a child who's 10 really has the behavior abilities, I should say. The mental abilities will never be there. The behavior abilities about 2 years behind. Okay, 1 to 2 years, I should say. Not everybody, but obviously majority. Again, these things I wish we can discuss it better. You know, it's a shame that people who dare discuss it get labeled the istophobe. Anyway, share, say, subscribe, thumbs up, and again, those who want to go into teaching, especially as if you're a man, I would say no. Okay, go to the bank. Go engineering, work in the bank, financial. You know. All right, share, save, subscribe, thumbs up. Take care, bye, and PBS socks.